like this composition. What is it good at? It's a rush composition. It's got plenty of things. Sideshow dubbed it the zombie comp during the Overwatch League playoffs and grand finals when the LA Gladiators ran a bunch of it. This composition can come in two variants. You can run Sombra Tracer and Sombra Reaper. They're going to switch away from that probably to some sort of poke composition. But I want to talk about that composition because if you have that in your locker, that sort of composition that is so direct, that's so punishing towards immobile targets like Roadhog, like Sigma, like Honor, right? That sort of composition could be brutal against any team in those sort of scenarios. So having that in your locker is a very impressive for Marist.
Like Troy, wait, no, Troy is a place. I'm an idiot. Ignore me. Please ignore me. Let's hope that this is not broadcasted out to the internet for all of time. Niagara University, that's who we're looking at right now. Headed by Zombie Abuser and Ham. Over the side, this Taze. Was really just looking to get a word in edgewise. Now should be rotating around to try and hit. Maybe even get an environmental kill. Nope, just taking it to the middle and actually focusing on high Fizzy on the Baptiste until they realize that is just simply not a good time to jump into that party. Brave Leaf taking everything damage-wise. Immortality Field out comes and keeps this squad alive for a little while, but Niagara just outside of full team kill bell. There it is.
Team Outlaw. I really do. I really do, right? They're playing two of my favorite compositions. Sometimes you'll see it be Zenyatta Brigitte as the backline instead of Zenyatta Mercy. I think it's maybe just a comfortability thing. They prefer playing the Mercy, especially with the Ashe. You know, you can give the Ashe a lot more resources with the Mercy. And maybe if they were playing the Sombra Tracer variant, they would go on to the Brigitte or Sombra Tracer, the composition with Full Diva that won Shanghai Dragons the Overwatch League. So obviously a very direct composition that Marist have been paying attention to.
Yeah, huge Atlanta Reign fan myself. It was sad to watch, but not surprising. Just like that, Marist College, while I'm waxing philosophical about my Atlanta Reign players, pretty much get a full team kill again. This has been all Marist all the time. They finished map 1 99-0. That's what we are staring down the barrel of right now.
I think Niagara are like playing or setting up these team fights that bad. I think that this team, this Marist team, is actually quite special in terms of EGF play. I think realistically, a team of this caliber, pretty strong Masters players, right? That can play this many competitions is so impressive to me.
Well placed minefield, and that's one so far, and a 10 kill streak for this ball player. That's Taze for Marist College. Not actually sure if they have been felled in this map so far. Find that out in a little bit. Ham, that's a fantastic start of this ultimate. OUM, Transcendence out to mostly negate that out and to allow Thunderkid to get the res up. Brave Leaf, very courageous attempt on the whole hog, but disconnected from the squad, and not enough damage to go forth. Really take it to the side of Marist College. This one is probably going to go. They might have time to touch, and that's pretty much it.
Marist is just a really strong team. Niagara have had some good individual moments. I think they'll need more than that if they're gonna at least win a map in this series, or even get close to winning this series. But very impressive map from Marist. That's all I have to say. We'll hopefully see more from Niagara later on. That's what we're kind of hoping to expect. Also, I don't know if you caught that. I was just kind of looking at my screen there, like matching colored skins here from Marist. That's like a whole new level.
There you go. Yeah, the next level has been established here, and I love Elios well just for that reason right there. Lucio main myself, all of our favorite international DJ, right?
He did serve well. That Lucio pick, they were able to set the tempo a lot. We were sort of okay, you know, get a bit greedy, try and go for that environmental kill right off the spawn. I like the confidence as well. They knew they were in a pretty commanding position. They were already setting some pretty good tempo, setting pretty fast tempo. Lucio, as a hero, right, is always kind of talked about, you know, setting a fast tempo. Lucio can set a sort of slow tempo as well, by kiting back and then a slower engagement back in, right? Really impressed with what I've seen from Marist so far. What can Niagara do to get back into this, or at least make a good account of themselves? I think maybe putting more resources into Ham. Arstelia, I was looking at the cards there, had a pretty good amount of healing, maybe devoting more resources towards amplifying damage at Ham in particular, and Blizzard World, where seemed to favor the Hanzo in the previous map. You could run Hanzo here on the defense in particular, and the offense as well. And you can do a lot of spam damage. That might be something that could get Niagara a little bit closer to Marist.
Yeah, it's going to be a tough trek after two 099s on the Helios. Looking at Blizzard World, just geographically different as some sort of Farah pick up top, classic pharmacy combination. Really see that many hit scans from Marist in this, correct? We saw like an Ashe at one point, or there towards the end, but really most of this damage was accomplished by the other DPS in our tank layout. Now we promised, there we go, we got Blizzard World, then Volskaya, Dorado, then Lijiang. We took a little bit while to get there, but we promised that's our map selection.
Right, okay, so we're going to go to Blizzard World. I'm just kind of looking at the chat here, and it looks like we've got 3 substitutes coming in for Marist College. So they have a cheaper roster. All of their roster is around, I think 3,400 to 3,900 is what I remember seeing, and I think I have that in my notes as well, maybe a little bit higher, but so very consistent roster across the board. So these were probably going to be like specialist map picks is probably what they've been scrimming with or practicing with. These players in on particular maps being map specialists, and they probably have a lineup that they prefer when it comes to down to the wire map 5 scenarios as well, like what they think is their strongest lineup. So we'll kind of wait to see what Marist's traditional lineup is later in the season when you know it's balls to the wall. But we don't need to see that yet. Marist could have a little bit of a different look here on this next map.
We'll see kind of how that pans out. Now, speaking of lineups and whatnot, I literally, we coordinated the colors a little bit. I just realized I think me and Ocean might actually be wearing the same shirt. Not the same exact shirt. This is the same iteration of the same shirt. It would be very hard for us to share shirts across the Atlantic Ocean. But yeah, standard wearing white guy polo. Love to see it. Love to see it. These teams are coordinating now, just kind of figuring out what they want to do, what they want to not allow have happen again. We're going to go to a very short break. Back with you guys for some Blizzard World action between Marist College and Niagara in just a little bit. Play World of Warcraft at all, Ocean?
No, I am a little too young to play World of Warcraft.
Like now?
No.
Oh, okay. You mean like back in the day when like it's that's okay. That's fair. Never mind. I'm being harassed. We're looking at 4 minutes. Marist. Oh, hang on. Yeah, Marist on the right, on the red, Niagara on the left, and the blue. We saw this Bastion have a little bit of effect earlier on our Volskaya there between Canisius and Sienna. See how it goes here today. Andrew in the middle, showing that, peeking that head out a little bit, almost paying the full price for it. Rotations coming through, and Aristelia, excuse me, just takes to the skies. Love to see it. Trades through. Bastion down. It's going to be a tough effort trying to get back to the res. Their mortality field down as well. By Fizzy, doing the fantastic job getting the healing spread around. Kane actually dropping down at an inopportune time, and Aristelia going to take advantage of that one all day long. In the back lines now, Emerald looking to get annoying with this one. Tay is jumping in. Damage all over here. I think Aristelia will have another mortality field if need be. Doesn't even look like they're going to have the opportunity to toss that one out, yeah. Or they do, I guess, they'll just a little bit late, I guess.
So you see those subs coming in for the side of Marist College, and their subs are really interesting. So they played some sort of summer competitions in the last map. They're now playing double bubble here. That is a devastating graviton surge. They are going to get the kills eventually from that, although they're not. Arcelia, nice little kill on the Emerald.
Yeah, trades back and forth right here. 2 down from one side, 3 down from the other. DC falling as well, and that's Taze just dumbing out with the Primal Rage. So DC 224 coming in, the Sigma player for Niagara, sub coming in as well, but like you mentioned, what, Emerald, Kane, and
Vocal as
Thunder
well.
Kid, and Vocal, yeah, so wow, alright, so Andrew Taze, the tank lineup, the only core remaining.
I think
from
Thunder Kid was
Marist.
in the last map as well. I think they were the Lucio player that went for the
That was
cheeky
OUM.
move
I'm not
on
sure.
Ilya as well.
I'm not sure.
I think it is, and I think that's the third main sport. They've played all 3 main sports so far in this series, so that's a unique skill to have.
Photon barrier out. Here comes the copy on the Sig. DC's close to theirs. Kane's now there with the increased ultimate progression from the Echo ability. It's gonna be way harder to find this now. Here comes there's a Gridiflitic Flux up. Got 3 of them there as well. Just as it comes out of that, gets damage in for Ham, but not enough onto the rest. 3 meters away. Thunder Kid up in the front, swinging away right now. Here comes the rally as well. This Sig gonna pay for it and doesn't get to finish the Gridiflitic Flux. That's Marist right now taking kills on point, forcing the side of Niagara to come on back and giving him the corner. 5 minutes. It's a long time.
I think that's why these changes happen. Emerald might like to play some more poke-based heroes, like the Cowboy coming out here. Maybe Hanzo on the defense. Maybe that's something we could expect. Maybe Vocal likes Ana over Zenyatta. That sort of thing. I think that's why we're seeing, and Kane likes Echo, right? And that's why they're bringing these players in on a double bubble based map or a double bubble composition. Double not always the strongest here on Blizzard World, but going pretty well for Marist so far. They got Primal for this next fight. They'll have a Nano Boost as well. Tesh needs to take a little bit more damage to build that ultimate up for themselves, and they'll be ready to go.
A little bit and just get right past. Doesn't matter. High Fizzy just getting focused down right here and not allowed to continue in this team fight. Taze in the very last little bit. Still have the Nano Boost and a Grav on point as well. There's the eat, and they recognize that. So perfect timing to realize once the grasp is utilized from DC, no opportunity to eat the Grav, and they still have a Nano Boost in the pocket.
Bravely to try and get a pin here, get tied, and still he goes down. Don't think there's any way really back into this for the defense. That's a massive time bank for Blizzard World.
20-player kill streak for Taze. Does that mean this player did not perish in an entire Blizzard World offense?
Yeah, I think they went down, I think they were the first death in the lobby and then never died since.
About as good as it gets. That's the little horde guy with the flag. Okay, cool. Boomer video game. Okay, all right, Oceans. All right. I didn't play like a lot of WoW back in the day, but I definitely had a couple cousins spend a couple summers decently well addicted to that game. A shout out to Blizzard. They do make some of the world's best, most addictive video games.
Sometimes painfully so.
Mm-hmm. RuneScape was my real vice.
Oh.
That's even more of a boomer game, though, I suppose.
Most of my online days is actually more pathetic. To be fair, most of my online game experience has been Overwatch. So to be fair, you probably had a better experience than me.
Fair enough. A long experience, regardless. I'm sure it has been. Hey, shout out to Taze with the Atlanta Rain skin. Maybe these guys heard us and just pandering to their play-by-play caster. Who knows?
Potentially.
Looks good. He could be a gator. Like the player from the main tank. Anyway, rotating in. Interesting look. Yeah, okay, this is what I want to see, is them moving down bottom and not pushing through the middle, especially because I think they did see Kane on the Echo, and so they just have to know, or at least assume that Emerald's doing the same thing on the Tracer, and they'd be able to come through on this and provide that edge flak damage in no matter where they're at. Emerald almost forced to bite the bullet on that one and head back to respawn. As it is, members of Niagara rotating in early. Picks from both squads, and that's almost more on the UI that this guy could even tell what was going on. DC falling in the thick of things, lasers, Tesla cannons, everything in between, coming and ending them very quickly. This is a move back position, right? There's no point in pushing this.
This is get out of here, get out of dodge. One thing I want to kind of note here is Taze, again, in the Winston here in this scenario, Winston pretty good in most poke compositions. Now the Roadhog's going to make things a little bit trickier for them. Okay, it's going to be a little bit more calculated. But I'm actually really glad to see a lot more Winston play at EGF this season. Winston, in more dominant regions like Korea, is used a lot more than it is in the West. And EGF teams are starting to use Winston a lot more as a hero, and I'm enjoying it. Some of these teams are really finding some success. We saw Sefri in the previous series for Sienna, and now Taze is getting some good value out of that hero.
A little mini tech right there. Emerald almost got caught up on that left corner and paid dearly for it. Definitely need their damage on defense. Come through here and push this out. There comes the copy. There comes the Gravitic. Up and down is going to be just outside enough, but not for Ham and Zombie Abuser. High Fizzy as well. Brave Leaf there. DC 224 and Aristalia taking out the end. And we get the team kill bell. Bong.
Your like second bell after it.
No, I love it. Like it's one of the best. I've said this for a long time. I feel like that's one of the best noises in any esport. You know, hit marker sounds are really cool and stuff, but I like the team kill bell.
Yep, my favorite sound is in Overwatch, especially now with the new Brigitte skin. The flail sound when break hits someone.
Oh, I feel that.
Particularly satisfying.
Yep,
especially when the vampire had their skin.
Oh, admitting to playing Brig in Overwatch. Hate to see it. Hate to see it.
Kane doing the skin.
No, I hear you. Kane's doing a fantastic job of providing this like flak damage in from the top, and there's really nobody on the other side that can do a great job of taking them out except for a Ham. Aristalia forced to pay attention up top is not going to be the move. Immortality field up front. That's going to be a Transcendence as well. Oh, that would have been a perfect time for a Brave Leaf Whole Hog, but not sure if they... Yeah, they're not, obviously don't have that yet. And a 5! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5! Count them up and weep as Niagara is sent back to spawn to think about their mistakes.
I'm a little bit speechless, Taco, I'm going to be honest. That was an awesome play from Taze and Vocal with the Nano Winston. Good discipline to not use the Primal Rage as well. Just to force out that Transcendence. That was the goal there. And then, of course, I believe they also forced out the Immortality field, so maybe a little bit of misuse of resources from the offense, but that Graviton Surge Pulse one was perfect from Emerald and Andrew, so credit to them. Awesome play. I hope that goes on the Twitter later.
Yeah, kind of like the... You got a Space Jam, right, with the Grav Doomfist ultimate.
Yeah.
And you always have the self-destruct and go with, like, the big bomb, right? Sometimes that Tracer Sticky Bomb is all that is required. And also, what? There's not a single member with 600 health on the side of Marist, so also going to be something that helps out right there. Not that that mattered because I was Emerald doing it against Niagara. Ignore me! Well, until now. Rotating in from the main choke after you open up spawn. I like the look that they're taking at this, but a little bit discoordinated and having to force to pay attention to players down bottom. Haven't touched. 2 seconds. Haven't touched. 1 second barely gets there in time. But the split attention forces members like Ham and Zombie Abuser to the outside. And there is no hope left for this Niagara squad in Blizzard World.
Really impressive again from Marist. Niagara? We're a little bit, I mean, they improved a little bit on the first point defense in the sense of they got a team fight, like half a team fight victory. They kind of slowed Marist down. I'm gonna be honest though, I don't really see Niagara winning this series. I don't. Right? I'm not gonna call. Yeah, I don't really see it happening. But what I do see right now from the side of Marist is a quality team. They have showcased 3 very difficult compositions, a unique understanding of those 3 compositions, a unique identity of those 3 compositions, and the fact they can play them on 2 different maps is very impressive. They played Bold Diva, some sort of variation of Die. They played a different variation of Die with Double, and additionally they played what is now known as the Zombie comp, formerly known as either Blackout Brawl, 6-man, Rush, whatever you want to call it. I just like to call it a Rush composition. And I think a lot of that is down to Thunderkit, right? Because Thunderkit, as I said earlier, has played all 3 main supports, Brigitte, Lucio, and Mercy in this series. And that gives so much flexibility to your team that you can change up your main support at any time and play at whatever tempo and whatever composition you want to. That's such a good resource for any team to have.
Always something solid to have in the back pocket there, but as we were seeing this, Marist College, it's Red Foxes, I believe, coming in. Absolutely rolling so far. 2-2-0s. Wait, no, actually. 3? Yeah, 3 points. Sorry
3-0
for
in
the side of
second.
Marist. Yeah. Yeah, it was 2-0 and 3-0 getting the confirm now. For Marist. So unfortunately, Niagara spent last week as well getting 3-0 by Quinnipiac. So they're still technically looking for their first map win in EGF. That's kind of the narrative that is going on right now. On the other side, same opposite situation, exact opposite situation. Marist has not dropped a map yet, and there's only one opportunity there for that to even happen in the second week now. Marist Red Fox is looking to continue on the prowl right now and stay not just undefeated, but not even have dropped a map. Now, I would be very surprised if they didn't drop even a point on a map, but that's the situation they're staring at here for today, right now, Ocean.
Rid of that goose egg, not even necessarily the map score goose egg, but necessarily just getting a point on the board for Niagara would be a realistic achievement here. We go to Well Sky Industries next, another very strong Winston map. I wouldn't be surprised if Marist didn't change their lineup at all. They might go to the same lineup that they had in the first map because Somber Tracer is pretty good here. So I would be surprised if we saw that. Look, this Marist team is extremely good. That's all I'm gonna say so far. Niagara, they've had a couple of bright spots, right? I feel like what Niagara lack right now is a little bit of identity. I don't think they really know who their better players are, how they want to play the game, what compositions they prefer, what they're good at. I think that's something that they need to find out pretty quickly over the next couple of weeks, and that's something I'm going to be looking out for Niagara, especially in the next couple of weeks. Can they find what they're good at and what they want to be this season? I think that's a reasonable goal for them.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, if it's going to happening on Volskaya is entirely reasonable. We'll kind of see how that goes, and it's going to be dependent on team composition 100%, right?
Something that doesn't really get pestered by Taze on the Winston as much. So maybe something that moves a little bit faster, is a little bit more mobile, and has a very secure backline. So maybe your Zen, maybe a Brigitte would be a very good pick, like a Zenbrig backline. As long as you can kind of move that Zenbrig backline into the team fight. I'm going to be honest, I'm not so sure on the Hackfist defense here. I feel like this is not the best way to try and deal with this situation here. Because, I mean, yes, maybe you can isolate Andrew, hack them up, and then get that kill with DC and Braveleaf. And maybe you could hack up the Winston as well, Taze. But other than that, I don't really see a real goal of this composition.
Kind of the lack of opportunities for the hacks and EMPs and whatnot. I can definitely agree. We do have Face Misk back in for Cloud. Cloud is dissipated. And we got Face Misk back in. We're looking at Bravely as well. Braveleaf, excuse me, on the Sambwa. And this player was playing tank earlier. Zombie Abuser moving from DPS role on over to the off tank, to the Roadhog, to the Hookem. I don't really know. Now that's going to be Face Miss deleted early. DC actually following suit as well. Ham looking for a Wayne. Edgewise looking for an Anna and finds it. Perfect timing on that one. And yeah, this isn't Overwatch 2 yet. Sombra does not have that information through walls. That was just good timing.
I mean, Marist's still going to pick this up, but something to look at maybe in the future, maybe even just for the rest of this map, is watch Ham on the Doomfist, right? They seem pretty comfortable there. They got some value. Really nice punch over onto the Ana. So maybe that's something we can watch out for in the future. 63% of meteor strike, they can maybe make something work in that next team fight. The problem is, I think in this next team fight, with how Ken's been building up this EMP, that's probably going to be online. And Hack Doomfist is not a very strong Doomfist.
Yeah. This Doomfist comes forth, gets caught in backlines. Not going to be a whole lot to happen against this hack. Purple and more in the middle. Jay's playing that role, punching more. There's the Immortality Field on the side. Now looking to take it to the rest of these. Jay getting super low. That's almost a boop. That is, I believe, the Baptiste takes a long walk off a short pier. Ham getting, just chased down there at the end. Throwing the MP on top just for a little flavor, Ocean. You see followed right there. Immortality field out. This is just like the bleeding will be stemmed for a couple of seconds, but this should not be enough. As members of Niagara, yeah, just as soon as they get on, nothing done there. 5 minutes is practically forever in a 2CP.
Which is about that time, but my throat decided not to help me out there, right? So
You're good.
Appreciate for covering that. Pretty good attack there from Marist, again, showcasing a couple of different heroes that we haven't seen so far. We saw Genji from Faceless. We saw Cade play the Sombra, something we haven't seen from them yet as an individual player. Pretty solid map from them. Also primal from Taze. I think Taze and Safri have been the two difference makers in the two series we've had, both main tank players. So that's really interesting to me. I think Niagara, the fact they're switching their DPS and tank players around really highlights to me that they are struggling to find their identity. Really struggling to find out what works for them. And that concerns me for this series. Maybe next week they can patch it up. That's something, again, that we want to keep watching. I just think it deserves to be highlighted again based on Brave Leaf and Zombie Abuser switching roles.
Yeah, especially the switch now, the sim will mostly be used for utility. Pushing it offensively just makes it harder to set up these turrets and whatnot more, so I don't know, perhaps they know something I do not. Going for the Torbjorn hold, little kind of a mini bunker technically, but dual shields. Kane over in the Ash as well. Vocal will have hit scan capabilities. And against the Sigma, unique look. Yeah, kind of holding up here. We saw the Bastion, 10 meters to their right earlier on a previous game. See how this fares. Taze down bottom as well. Not really against that. There's the teleport to begin with. I think that's Niagara kind of realizing that when reading it on over to the side. Repositions? No. DC charges down the middle by themselves and fortunately failed right there. High Fizzy taken out at the end, and this push has stopped dead in its tracks.
This is going to be really hard for Hammer the Doomfist to get value. If they can get towards the tanks, then sure, because obviously you can rocket punch through those shields. But that Torbjorn turret is going to limit what options Ham has by a lot. And again, now we're seeing Reinhardt Roadhog, an early pick at choke. Niagara, they just look a little bit lost right now. They don't know what they want to do. They don't know really what they're trying to accomplish. And Marist have them on the ropes here. Marist, credit to them, they've been absolutely excellent today. And they're probably going to evolve for this next fight as well. Just a couple dynamites away from that.
Ooh. Threading the needle right there. Threading the chain, the hook, whatever you want to call it. Ham felled as well, which you kind of covered it. Cannot say is incredibly surprising given this Doomfist has just not really worked out that well so far. The turret out, it's not going to bode any well as well. Stop dead in the tracks from the Orisa Fortify. Just outside a tick of progress. Torbjorn stepping out on that one. And that is going to be first tick of progress with plenty of time left. So if there's anything to be had here for the side of your Niagara squad, it is there now 41%. As High Fizzy pulls out the Pistola and takes it to their counterpart.
To work with on the offense either. Now they're on like a Sombra Junkrat DPS line. I don't think I've ever seen that DPS line. Like, never. Right? I don't think they synergize very well. I think they're looking for Brave. He's hiding in the corner here. Does remain invisible there. Maybe they're gonna look for a hack here onto one of the tanks or the Torbjorn. Maybe the Sigma Flux right now.
Oh, almost got the hack. And, man, no translocator at the end. Face Mist just levels this Rivet Gun. One single shot on top of the damage already came into Brave Leaf. That's going to be a stop against Niagara.
Vocal here. Amplification Matrix, another tool that's going to zone out the side of Niagara. This is so difficult for Niagara. I think their composition doesn't really suit pushing into this double shield comp, but also they're not really helping themselves with the role swaps. And it's
paying attention
play.
To a Bob in the back on a corner from the supports here. Now rotating in, this will just be a quick little pinch between the Rissa down bottom, Torbjorn up top. with a little bit more support, I would have loved to see that whole hog. A little bit more progress. Brave Leaf does not make the same mistake that they did earlier. Get on out of this one. And did get a little bit more progress. Got barely away from the Kane Ash right there.
Brave Leafs are gonna have MP. This is probably the best opening they're gonna get. One of the strongest ultimates in the game, but they've already lost 2 players.
That's a huge EMP for these 6 members, but with Ham and with DC, Reinhardt already felled. It's not a whole lot. Oh, man! And then the Ham comes back on the res, got the tire, but nothing clicking right now for Niagara. 3-0 victory for the side of Marist. And unfortunately, it was another goose egg put up by Niagara.
Yeah, fortunate. Niagara, they gotta find out who they are as a team. That's something I want to see.
Yep.
I mean, I don't really want to repeat it once more, but I think that's something that really needs to be done. Because I'm looking at the players, I'm looking at some individual moments from them. There's some pieces there. But like a jigsaw puzzle, if you've got a jigsaw puzzle and you've got loads of different pieces, but they're not of the same jigsaw puzzle, it doesn't quite work, right? So you've got to try and make it work. I'm not too sure what else to say here.
Or perhaps the simple fact of adaptations. I do like if there's a positive to be pulled from this, it's that many Niagara members showed what they can do on many different roles and many different heroes. So the versatility is there. You know, like the individual hero knowledge of the game and stuff like that is there. It's just more about like kind of cleaning up these edges and moving past the basics, at least in my opinion. We'll kind of see how this member from Marist takes it. We'll be starting an interview here in just a second, and we'll go to that just as soon as and we'll Ocean, unless you have something else for the good people here.
Really, I just want to give credit to Marist. I thought they were absolutely excellent tonight. I think maybe Niagara's issues aren't as bad as they look. They were just up against a really good team today.
Fair enough. Fair enough. We'll be back with you guys in just a minute. we are back. A little interview action coming at you. We got Taze here, another Winston player up here in the interview box. Taze, how we doing?
Good, how are you?
Doing very well. Doing very well. I want to thank you for coming in and giving us a minute of your time after the game, the 3-0 over Niagara here. Ocean, go ahead and take it away.
All right. Okay. So I'm gonna focus on your team first, right? Let's talk about Marist so far. You gamers, right, showed a lot of flexibility today, right? A lot of different compositions. A lot of that came for yourself. I think you played Arissa for the series. You played Winston. I think we saw Ball from yourself at one point as well. Talk to me about your ability to play all of the different main tanks, and even Thunderkid's ability to play all the different main supports.
So I came into this team as a main tank player, and because of that, I had to make sure I was good on the Arissa and the Ball. So I spent a lot of time last year and the year before getting better to that with those characters. So I feel very confident playing them now. And this year we got Thunderkid, who's a freshman. Excuse me. And he came in basically saying, I can play any support but Zen. And I'm like, we have Ohm. We don't need you on Zen. I'm glad you can play any support that we need you to, though.
So, right, that's great to have that flexibility. I was really, really impressed with the flexibility. If you did get a chance to go watch the broadcast, you guys were awesome on your Sombra Tracer. You're awesome on your ball comps. Your double bubble as well was pretty strong. So very impressive to see that this early in the season. My next question is kind of about going into this game of Niagara. Marist obviously picked up a pretty strong win over Niagara in Rocket League last week as well. In this sort of, you kind of probably expected it to be a little bit easier. In game, how hard is it to keep those mentals in the right shape? I think you did a great job of taking the game properly. Utilizing your conditions throughout the entire series. So talk to me about just this series in particular and that sort of unique challenge of keeping everyone's mentals up.
Yeah, we try to give each team the same amount of focus and intensity that we would give any other team. So even if we are getting ahead and showing that we are a step above them, we try to give them the same respect that we would give a team who is on our level or even better. So during the first game, we were kind of losing our composition a little bit, but we tried to make sure to bring it back together and just focus on, hey, let's focus on making sure we're doing our things as perfectly as we can, and trying to do that, trying to get good time banks, completing the map as fast as we can. That's something that we try to do, and the only way to do that is to be perfect. So
okay, I'm gonna pass you back over to talk about what have you got for us.
Just one question. An Overwatch player being gentlemanly, respectful, where's the Overwatch main tank I was interviewing? It's not a characteristic of your Overwatch players. No, seriously, all jokes aside, that is the stuff that we like to hear. Obviously, little smack talk and stuff like this, but there's not a whole lot, to be fair, competition-wise in this previous. You guys just put down Niagara 0-2, 0-3, and 0-2 just to recite the numbers for everybody, just in case those who have just tuned in. What I want to ask you about here, Taze, is about any changes. You mentioned the flex support that came in as a freshman from previous semester into now here. Any other changes the Marist program, esports-wise, from last semester into this one?
We got a few new players. We got Andrew, who is the off tank you saw today. We got Cloud, who is an insane hit scan player. We got Kane, who's really good on the flex support, flex DPS. And then, like I said, we got Thunderkid, who plays them basically any support you want him to. All really good additions. They really help our team have that depth and size that allows us to be able to be as flexible as we want to be.
Depths and size. Sorry, I heard death and size. I didn't see how that would make
no,
sense.
depth.
Depth. No, I'm with it. I'm with it. Taze, I appreciate you coming on and giving us a minute of your time after the game. Congratulations on the victory.
Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Not a problem. Only winners in the interview box. So we'll have you back next time you win, maybe. If you win, of course.
We're going to keep on winning.
There it is. There's the Overwatch player that I know. 3-0 victory for Marist. They continue their run. Not just 2-0, but 6-0. That's correct. They have not dropped a map Unfortunately, exact opposite situations for Niagara. As we presented this in the beginning, Niagara went through and was not able to take a map off of their Quinnipiac opponent last week. This is a Niagara squad is still looking to take their first map in the regular season of the EGF. We'll be going on over to a moderately sized break because we are ahead of schedule. Again, I'm just, my mind is reeling. Respectful Overwatch players, esports programs ahead of schedule. Who would have guessed it? Who would have guessed it? Stick around, though, because we might be able to start that one early. There's no guarantee there. Do not quote me on that one. Anything else before we go, Ocean? You're muted, my friend. Oh, there you go.
Oh, right, there we go. Nice. Play Overwatch player. Seems very well media trained. Great in-game. Good job, Taze, on the victory. And looking forward to see Marist on some more competitions next time around.